Booyah.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for having me here. Thank you all for being here. I literally thought there was going to be like 2 people. So I came here with my wife, Julie, who's my #1 supporter. And I was like, well, I don't know how many people are going to be here. I've never been to Glappit. Maybe, I think there's sessions. There might be 2 people. You might be the only one. If that's the case, I won't even talk. We'll just drink beer. But it turns out this is pretty freaking awesome. So thanks again. So my name is Dean Ortsbiawe. I'm born and raised here in Chicago. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Perfect, cool. So the reason why I'm here is, you know, I think I share a passion with probably everybody else that spoke tonight, and that's, you know, connecting people to something that they love, and in the process, you know, following your passion as an entrepreneur. So that's why I'm here. So I've created a social media site called Chicago Craft Beer Supporters. It's not a webpage, it's straight social media, so you're talking, you know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and what it is connecting people with the faces behind craft beer. So I'm connecting people with the faces behind anybody involved in the Chicago craft beer scene, whether it be the brewers, you know, different bloggers, the business owners, anybody involved, and you know, I want to highlight that and show people, hey, who these people are behind the beers that you love. So how did this whole thing start for me? Well, you know, actually I started this whole Chicago Craft Beer Supporters in just January 2012, and how it actually originated is I was at Whole Foods on North Avenue. I don't know if anybody's been there, but it's an awesome Whole Foods, 2nd biggest in the nation, and you can drink while you go shopping there. It's like the perfect thing, so right? So you end up getting so drunk that you buy a lot of food. They have created a great business thing. So actually what happened is I was there getting dinner, and I was drinking beer at their bar, which is 1550 Bar at Whole Foods in North Ave. And there was this guy from Sierra Nevada Brewery. I don't know if you've heard of Sierra Nevada out in California. But they're a pretty big brewery, started in 1980. There was just some guy pouring beer, and you know, I walked up to him and I said, hey, can I try some of that beer? He's like, yeah, absolutely. I got to know him. He turns out to be the master brewer of the brewery, who actually started the brewery almost 30 years ago. I mean, this guy is worth millions of dollars, and he looks like he's kind of a bum. He looked kind of like a little bit like a bum. That's because he brews beer like 20 hours a day. So he smelled like hops and all this other stuff, but I was like, wow. So he took a really cool picture of me, and I got really excited because actually I loved the beer that he was pouring, and I thought, geez, every time I go to a place now and I see this beer, I'm probably going to buy it because I like this guy. You know, I know who makes it. So that just really inspired me because, you know, I'm very overwhelmed whenever I walk into a place. I don't know how many people drink beer here. I don't know how many people know about beer or what, but just like anything else, you know, wine, liquor, beer, there's so many options. So I decided to start this page and start on Facebook. So the whole beginning of Chicago Craft Beer Supporters, I knew what I wanted to do, and I had a vision. I don't know where that vision was going to go, but I knew that that's what I love to do. I work a full-time job, and this is just something that I do on the side. I don't know if I want to make money off it at this point, because it's just a passion. I'm a people person, and I want to share that passion with others. So I had to go out there, find different events in the Chicago area, build relationships with people. I was literally going to drinking events probably like 3 nights a week. It was crazy. All that was following different businesses, breweries, people in Chicago, usually on Facebook and Twitter, to find out where they were going and what was going on. And then I had to make an effort out to, you know, go out there and actually do that. So I did a lot of that. I took a lot of pictures with my phone. I mean, iPhone 5's got an amazing camera, when you do the filter on Instagram, holy shit. So anyway, you know, I looked like an amazing photographer taking cool pictures and posting those. Before I knew it, it started going viral. People started liking the page, people started commenting on the photos, and then as soon as you start tagging all the people who are the faces behind craft beer who I met after they friended me, then it becomes viral. And then they get really excited because these are people who brew beer, sell a product, nobody knows who they are, and finally some crazy dude, me, who's not getting paid for anything, is like taking pictures of them and saying, look at these cool guys, and they're just like out of their minds excited. So that was really cool to see, and that got me really excited. And then I started hearing about more events, and then I started going to more events. Then before, you know, I knew it, now I'm going to these events and I'm drinking beer for free. So that's kind of like payment. So it's but then I also had to increase my workout. So that was another thing. But anyway, you know, that's been going pretty well. You know, today I probably have a couple beers every single night. I'm actually drinking my favorite beer right now. It's actually rated the #1 beer of its style in the world. It's called Helicopter. And you know, I just only felt like it was proper to drink a little beer up here to relax me. But you know, with that being said, I think what's in store for Chicago craft beer supporters is, I don't know. Every day it's evolving. There's more people. You know, it originally started as I wanted to connect, you know, people in Chicago with the faces behind craft beer, and now it's kind of evolved into I want to connect everybody in the U.S. with the faces behind Chicago craft beer and what we have going on here. And you know, I've kind of changed the mission statement a little bit, the overall, you know, description of what I'm doing, and I've even had to expand my reach and horizon. And as those ladies mentioned earlier, you know, it's going on pages, it's you know, messaging these people to say if you mind sharing, or you know, it's me taking a picture of a beer from a brewery out in California that I really like, posting it on their wall and say, cheers from Chicago, please give our page a like, you know, so we can tell people about all your beer here. And then they do that, and then it just shows up, and all of a sudden, you know, I have 100 likes in an hour, and I'm just, you know, like, holy crap, and I'm not getting work done at work. It's great. So, you know, that's kind of where it is right now, and it's been very exciting for me. Beer brings people together, and I don't know if everybody's in the beer here, but I truly believe that there's a beer for everybody. There's so many styles out there, and you know, it's a really great social thing. I mean, drinking is a great social thing, but I think enjoying a really good craft beer, for me, it's been great. I met a lot of awesome people who are now my really good friends, and I get to drink for free, which is awesome. But other than that, I truly believe that I'm opening, you know, people's worlds and expanding their horizon as it comes to the great things out there and bringing them away from big beer, you know, the big beer companies out there. So, you know, if you want to check us out, we're Chicago Craft Beer Supporters. Give us a like. You can find us on any social media site. Questions?
I have a question. What has been your, I know you already mentioned that one brewmaster, but what has been your coolest experience that you've been able to do since starting this? And also, if you had to pick a beer to you as like your last beer, what would it be?
Yeah, so wait, your first part of your question was what experience?
Like if you had a coolest experience you got to do, or you know, meet, or whatever it be.
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So my first experience to like get me all geeked up about it was meeting that one guy who's just like the OG of brewing beer. Dead serious. The second thing was I went to this beer event. It's called Dark Lord Day. It's like a really dark beer that is brewed once a year, and it's released at Three Floyds Brewery in Indiana. I don't know if anybody knows Three Floyds. Really intense craft beers, really great craft beers, well known. So I went there with a bunch of these brewers that I met in the industry, and I ended up getting a VIP pass. I mean, this is one of the biggest beer festivals in the whole world. People fly in from everywhere to go to. I got in for free because of somebody I knew, and that was just really cool. But as I got in there, they saw that we were with the brewers, and they let us in like VIP into the bar, and I met, the actual owner of Three Floyds and owners from all these breweries all across the world, like brewers from Belgium and stuff, like people like monk-like people brewing beers. It was unreal. And at that point, I was like, holy crud! Like these are people that brewers look up to. Like I have no idea, how intense this is until you see, the look on these brewers' face, like, hey, that's so and so over there. So that was probably the coolest thing. That was like the next launch. Sorry, Morty.
How do you cure a beer hangover? Yeah.
More beer.
More beer?
More beer. Mixed
Your
with
wife
water.
has to love beer too, right?
That got me way more into it.
I'm sure. Now you're like excited, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what would be like your last beer? Like, what's your favorite beer if you had to pick one?
Yeah, my favorite like beer in general, or just like
Yeah, if you had to
style.
pick one beer, it'd be like your last beer to enjoy ever. What would you have to pick?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. My last beer to enjoy ever would be a local brewery here in Chicago. They're called Pipeworks. They were rated the #1 fastest growing small craft brewery in the United States. And it's a beer called Citra Ninja,
Wow.
brewed with Citra hops. It's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, anyway, I really appreciate it. I actually brought some of these, so if anybody wants to try some, I brought a bunch of sample cups, and it is rated the #1 beer in the world. I actually had to have it traded to me from some dude who drove 4,000 miles to get it. So, you better try it, all right? All right, thank you.